Hello, hello, and welcome to PTSD While Black. I am Quinn, and I'm going to be doing tarot readings. I've been trying to be committed to getting back to doing tarot on a regular basis. And yeah, I wanted to do one on race because I went to sleep and there was this need to talk about internalized white supremacy. And then I woke up and it was still there. It's like talking about the impact of um, how it affects white people. So I'm going to see if there's any reading or any guidance from my spirit guides that we need to know about this system of oppression today. I have a bunch of different topics that I made, and the fun topic cards are conspiracy theories. Those were made with my husband. So, y'all, it's just a whole bunch of random stuff that we thought of. But I'm going to start with the topics on racism and then going out from there. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are having a safe and lovely day, that you're doing well, that you're finding light, joy, and ease in your day. God knows we need it. I heard about another mass shooting today, and that just really broke my heart. Okay, and these are handmade cards. I love watching various tarot readers. I'm going to give a shout out to some of the cool ones. The first one I ever started watching on YouTube was Cancer Baby Tarot. She's so sweet, Gina. There's Lumen Moon Tarot. I love her style and her kindness. And the style of writing the cards, I really got that from, oh my God, Philosophical. She's awesome. And I know there's one more. Oh no, there are a bunch of tarot artists on TikTok that I love to watch. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I do this? Right? Okay. So let's see. Why is this message about race here? I'm going to pull from the tarot cards first. What is the message that you have today that we're looking at around this issue of race and internalized white supremacy for all of us? You do not have to subscribe to my channel. This is my personal journal. So I'm thinking about making a channel for this as I go forward with more practices. But this is really my personal journal where I keep up with things that I'm learning, my health, my brain injury recovery, and the complex PTSD I live with. Okay. That was an interesting cut, love. Okay. Sisters, what is it that we need to know about internalized white supremacy today? What is this message that you're wanting to talk about? What is it that you need to have communicated that we, the collective, need to know? Okay, I'll start with 3 cards fell out here, so we'll go from there. The King of Swords, the 4 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups, which is also in reverse. So just take a look at this. The King of Swords cuts out the nonsense, gets right down to the root of things, uses his intellect. He still likes joy and frivolity. What this makes me think of, if I'm thinking of the subject of internalized white supremacy, it's that as a culture, of course, we value intellect and knowledge, of course. To the point that maybe we've gone to the extreme of missing out on some play. That's what I'm just looking at this card, this playful cat. But he's curious about his world. The 4 of Cups is like there's something that is being presented to us that may be the solution that we're looking for, but we're looking elsewhere and disillusioned about what we found so far, what has been presented so far. And the 5 of Cups being reversed, well, I don't know reversals. I don't do reversals except for I just make it as an emphasis card. But for the 5 of Cups, that's usually someone has left us. And what tends to happen is that even though 3 of the cups are gone, 2 are still there for you. So when I look at this and I'm thinking of the subject of internalized white supremacy, I think of, especially with this 5 of Cups, is that an old way of life, an old way of existing has gone, and we've got to look to what do we have now instead of trying to hold on to um, past beliefs and past values. I think we use intellect as a form of security, as a form of knowing, as a form of control, having some control in our lives around the fact that we can't deal with this loss and that maybe we've made uncertain choices or we didn't see what was really there. Um, when I think of this, you can't see him behind me. My husband's laying in bed. He's white. I'm black. Um, but it makes me think of, because I'm from the South as well, the Civil War that was fought. A way of life of owning people as property is over. And that was really the wealth of certain groups. And they're not looking to what is here now. And I think that's all of us. For Black people and people of color, but especially those who are the descendants of enslaved people, there's this loss of our culture and who we are, who we were, and we have this grief that we have not processed out, and we need to look and see what's here for us as well. I think the internalized white supremacy of thinking I'm smart enough, good enough, can keep me away from seeing what's really being offered to me right now. So that's what was just coming up for me with those 3 cards. What else do you want to talk about here related to internalized white supremacy? What are we dealing with here? Oh, that's a lot of cards. So come take those back. These are my situation cards. They just want to fly out. They're like, no, don't talk about this. It could be scary. And it's uncomfortable. My shirt that I have on today says "Get Uncomfortable." Something I designed years ago. Okay, fine. You guys just want to hop the hell out. I'm letting you go. Can't do what you do, and it makes them mad. Ah, addictive behavior. Name your feelings. What's so funny is I just made a video about the fact that we need to name our feelings about what our ancestors had done to allow these systems that we live in today to exist. And I think that we use addictive behavior to avoid how we really feel about the situations that they went through and the trauma that they left us, that we've inherited. And the can't do what you do and makes them mad. That makes me think of at the end of the Civil War. If you think about this now, enslaved people were tilling the land, creating solutions for being able to be good farmers and doing the work and the craftsmanship. So they've had 400 years of that experience. And there are other people who've had several advantages, but they could not do the same thing as these people who are passing down knowledge from 400 years of actually lived knowledge of doing the work. And so there's this challenge of can't do what you do, and it makes them mad. And name your feelings about not being able to do what someone else can do. That's looking at those 3 cups in the back, looking back and saying, oh, I can't do what they do. I want that, but I can't do it. Well, look at what you can do. Look at what's yours. Look at all the opportunities that you have available to you right now. And the same thing for Black people. We can't do what white people want to do, and it makes us mad. Hell yes, I can't do what my husband does. He gets away with murder on his job. He gets society will see him differently. And yes, I have held on to the anger about it. And it's time that we name our feelings to ourselves of how we feel about these differences instead of acting out in addictive behaviors. All right, what's next? And these cards are a little wild because they're based on random situations that have just come up in my life. Not based on race. They're just random things. I'm going to just take half of this off. Cut to hacked your computer. Okay. Yep. I've had that happen. Probably because somebody was upset that they couldn't do what I could do. And it's like, no one's an expert. I sure as hell am not an expert at anything. I just tell my experience. I tell what I know and share it because I hope that it'll help somebody someday. What else do we need to know? Spirit guides, ancestors, guardians. What else do we need to know? Hands moment. Drunk. Okay, someone's a drunk. But the only true person that loved them and stolen. Oh God, these cards are just coming out, but I'm going to go with this result, and it's abandonment issues. Now, what this tells me, only true person that loved them. I think that this is what's coming up for me, is our ancestors who decided to own other people maybe did not know how to love human beings, period, or in full out love and connection to other human beings. So it may have been hard for people to, this is what's coming up. Okay, can I word it? It may have been hard for people to admit to, I'm talking about my white ancestors, admit to them that I need your love. I need to feel what's going on within me and to be able to express it. They don't have that ability. But the only true person that loved them, this makes me think of the enslaved people. The stories that I hear about, so and so was my mammy, my nanny. That person was loving towards them because they had no other choice, but that they eventually bonded and found relationships. And I think that's the same story that I hear again and again. Like, oh, the slaves liked being slaves. No, I think relationships between people can be created. And I think for my white ancestors that they feel the loss of that love, understanding, and connection that they got from those who were enslaved. They wanted it from their fellow white relatives, but they didn't get it. That's what I'm thinking. And the same thing of abandonment issues. Here it was, you got somebody who's been raising all of your kids for years, taking care of everything around the house when you were sick, making you feel better. And then now we let these people who were stolen from their homelands, we have to let them go. So there is this feeling, this collective feeling of emotional loss and abandonment that I think pride, I'm just going to say this, pride of our white ancestors did not allow them to name it, to name their feelings about it. Therefore, the drinking, therefore, the addictive behavior. That's what seems to be coming up. Is there anything else? Let's get some letters. We'll try to get some letters on this to see if there's any other information to go here. I need to get a new deck for letters. These are too big for me. Okay. Sister, Spirit Guides, Guardians. Can you please provide 3 letters? Let's take a look at what is the overall message or the message or anything else that you'd have to say about internalized white supremacy, the addiction and abandonment issues, and not being able to do what others do. Is there any other message around this? Ugh. Three letters. B, C, and L. Bicycle, bicycle. Okay, let me first confirm. I command the truth spirit. Is today's date April 10th, 2023? Okay, thank you. Clear that, please. I command the truth spirit. Was your intention for these letters to come out as B, C, then L? Okay, great. So let's take a look and see what BCL means. I'm going to look at Urban Dictionary first, and then I'll look up abbreviations because Urban Dictionary is a hot mess. I mean, it's like how we talk to each other nowadays. But I don't know. It may not be appropriate for this particular subject. Let's see. BCL. Oh my God! Urban Dictionary. Black lover. Usually when white girls favor black boys more and often are sexually involved with them. And like, yeah, yeah. And then there's British Columbia liquor stores are known as BCLs. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So that just screamed out to me. Okay, YouTube's probably going to ban me. I don't care. Black cock lover can't do what you can do. Okay, let me just tell you something right now. With this, are white men jealous of black men because they believe that white women want black male genitalia? Let me first ask that question. I command the truth spirit. Are you saying that white men are jealous of black men because white women want black men's genitalia? Okay, that's a yes. Okay, I clear that, please. I command the truth spirit. Is this whew, is is this what the domination's about? That they I'm sorry. I command the truth spirit. Are white men holding on to this anger? Okay. Okay, thank you. That's a yes. Two things are coming into my mind. The first is how it got to be this way, and the second is what can we do about it? Those are the two things that are coming to mind. How it got to be this way. When you think of slavery, special chattel slavery, that's where your descendants are also considered as slaves. Black people were treated as animals. So if you think of breeding, that if you're creating a certain breeding with individuals to get certain traits and abilities that you're wanting strong, sturdy individuals, men for labor and for women if you're trying to have a pedigree. I'm sorry, I'm just really thinking of like pedigree cats for me. But for women, the larger the hips, the wider. Come on, we talk about black women's butts all the time. It's this not being able to do what black people can do, but it was created by white people with this genetic breeding that was done to create certain traits so that a woman with wider hips could have more children, possibly healthier children. Larger. So this system was created, this problem got created by our white ancestors. And they're still angry. There's this anger about it today that we're still dealing with it here today. And that's again that 5 of cups. Looking back at what was instead of what do you have that's special? What's good about you? That's just a it's this anger over white women wanting to be with black men, white men feeling inadequate. And can they just see what's good about themselves? What do they have to offer? Not just white women, but any woman. You know what I'm saying? What's good about you so that we can stop this? Name your feelings. Don't just drink about it. What's good about you? And for white women, just looking at oh my goodness, there was another letter high. But I did the reading for BCL, so there's an I. Um, but for white women, thinking about your husbands who our ancestors, when I think of our ancestors, the husbands who really cheated on their wives, had sex with the enslaved women. Okay. There's this inadequacy, this feeling of not being enough. Can't do what you do, and it makes them mad. So to get back at the husband, the wife has sex with the black slave. But the men considered a lot of times that, oh, it was their right because that's the behavior at the time. And a lot of them would have children with enslaved women so that they could have more property to make more money. But it left this feeling, this big feeling of inadequacy. And then there's this, when I look at this addictive behavior, I'm thinking of sex, like this sort of sex addiction when looking at black people instead of seeing us as people. So what's the healing around this? And yeah, and for black women can't do what you do. We see the white women taking the black men and they're like, "Oh my god." I've heard so many black girls talk about this, being angry about it, and it's like, "Look at what you've got, sis. Look at what you have to offer." You know? Um it's so rather interesting. What is good about us? And the black men want the white man's wealth and power. We need to name our feelings about all these things. That's what's coming up to me instead of being stuck in our heads. Okay, so Spirit, can you please provide what is a healing message for this energy around internalized white supremacy? What is the healing message? What is some guidance that we need at these times? Got radical rebirth was upside down, so that means it's huge, and manifestation. So these are things to emphasize: radical rebirth and manifestation. And at the bottom, worthiness. The bottom of the deck is worthiness, what I just said. People, come on now. We need to have a radical rebirth, and this is Mbuya Nahanda. Okay, so this is the woman that had the lions. I'm just going to read the meaning of the card because we'll round this out and get my husband to bed. Okay. Charwe Yakasikana channeled a Mohondo, an ancient royal lion spirit named Nahanda, who has been incarnated by revolutionary Shona women for at least 500 years. Heralded as Mbuya Nahanda, grandmother Nahanda, this great ancestress was a healer who declared war against colonial occupation. Yes, you can stop the struggle. You can choose at any moment to start over and be reborn. Like the sun, you rise again and again. We have choices. We have things that have been presented to us, that's been offered to us. Dust yourself off, move forward, and go for it again. Life is about transition and change. You will fall on your face, change your mind, and need to make a comeback again and again. Release the idea that you messed up if things aren't perfect. Stop waiting to be ready. Make new choices and decisions. Let's make new choices and decisions as a society. And the declaration of this card is, and still I rise. Still I rise. Despite what has been to us, done to us as a collective of people, whether it was through our white ancestors or through our people of color ancestors, we still can rise beyond what had happened. We get to make new choices today. That's a revolution. And for manifestation, Goddess Modaji is the hereditary rain queen of South Africa's Balabedo people, a matrilineal queendom. Modaji's daughters dance to the frequency of rain. Showers of blessings are yours. You are a rainmaker, master manifester, shape shifter, alchemist, and sorceress. Open your hands and heart. Yes, make it rain. You are manifesting big. This has been a long time coming. You're co creating with spirit. Match the energetic frequency, the ashe of your desire. You are magnetic, and like attracts like. Raise your vibration to align with the sacred. Close your eyes and see your blessings. Feel them in your bones. Ask, believe, act, allow, and receive. Again, ask, believe, act, allow, and receive. And the declaration is divine blessings flow to me so easily. Can you look at how that would be a message of healing? And how that would be a message of healing for us regarding our race relationships. Instead of what we lack, what we can't do, what's available to us? What opportunities have we had? Some of us have had more opportunities than others. Yes, we get that. What did we do with the resources we were given in the 24 hours that we all got? So that we can choose to rise and be reborn instead of choosing war with ourselves and war with each other. And that's the message that's coming in today, really loud and clear. My ancestors be talking about some weird stuff, y'all. All right, I hope this was helpful for those who are dealing with the discomfort of whatever the racial trauma or internalized white supremacy may be in our lives. All right, till next time, peace.